Watch this here.
New tonight, authorities in Shreveport, Louisiana are investigating a mass shooting that left 8 children dead. Police are calling it a domestic violence attack and say the shootings took place at multiple locations. Officers say the shooting rampage began just after 6 this morning. The victims were found in 3 homes. They ranged in age from 1-year-old to 12 years old. Authorities identified the gunman as Shamar Elkins. He carjacked a vehicle and led police on a chase after the shooting. Investigators say Elkins was the father of 7 of the 8 children that were killed.
We are still working to determine a complete motive and understanding as to why this happened, but it is domestic in nature. The mother of the children was also shot and had very serious injuries, although we are hopeful she will recover.
A teenage boy who was in the home managed to escape. He did suffer broken bones after jumping from the roof of the home. Investigators believe the other child killed belonged to a second woman who was shot. This is the deadliest mass shooting in the U.S. since 2024.
I can tell you the suspect in this case, Shamar Elkins, has been identified. He is the father of 7 of the children that were killed in this house. There is an 8th child that was also killed, as well as the 2 females that were involved. Both of them had gunshot wounds. One of them is still in life-threatening condition. The other is in serious condition, but is expected to recover. There was also an additional female and an additional 13-year-old juvenile that fled from this house and actually jumped off the roof. They both had injuries sustained from fleeing from the incident, but they are both expected to recover.
And the assailant came over to this area and shot the children, wounded the woman, and then one of the children escaped by jumping off the roof. I think broke her leg in the process. So we really don't know. He then hijacked a vehicle and took off, but the police gave chase. Then he fired on the police, and then he ended up being deceased.
8 children were slaughtered by their father in Shreveport, and Black Lives Matter is nowhere to be found. No vigils, no national outrage, nothing. And we all know why. It's because Shamar Elkins doesn't fit the template. See, organizations like BLM can mobilize the entire world for a criminal like George Floyd. They'll build monuments for a man with a violent rap sheet because his death was ideologically useful. But these 8 children, these 8 innocent children, they weren't fighting the law. They were fighting for their lives in their own home. And because there's no police officer to blame and no system to fundraise off of, BLM treats their deaths like they never happened. Now, before you liberal twats start with your uneducated bullshit in my comments, listen up. I'm not saying that George Floyd's life was worthless. I'm saying that he was a piece of shit criminal who never deserved to be the face of a moral movement. When you elevate a criminal to sainthood, but you stay silent while 8 babies are erased from the earth, you aren't an activist. You're a vulture. You're a political operative who only cares about Black lives when they can be used as leverage against your enemies. The truth in the darkness is simple. These children in Shreveport deserved the world's attention more than any career criminal ever did. They matter because they were pure, innocent human beings made in the image of God. Shreveport doesn't need your hashtags. They need a church. They need real community. The kind of people who show up to mourn because it's the right thing to do, not because there's a camera nearby. Stop falling for the theater. Say the names of the children who actually deserved a future. Pray for the families. Pray for the community. God bless.